Excuse me. There you go. You see that? That light?
Yeah, that little like.
Right.
Yeah, the red light.
Yeah.
Not anymore, I can't.
Yeah, no, because it's not at an angle where you can see it now. But it's definitely blinking, so. Okay, well, it's recording.
Are you ready?
Not the best audio, but you want to wait for Mr. Joseph to come back? Or are we going? I'm not for sure at this point.
Well, good morning. Good morning. My name is Clarice, and the name of my business is Life Recovery Care Facility. A little bit of background about me. I've been working in mental health for 10 years. My mother has a mental illness, and I've been taking care of her since I was 12. So it's normal, natural for me. But I love it. It's my passion. When I go to work, I'm not working. I'm doing something I love to do. When I first started working in mental health, I worked at a board and care, a 42-bed adult residential facility. Now, the clientele was a mixture of age, of people. I think our youngest resident was about 25, but this was 10 years ago. The board and care closed. So I started working at Crestwood. Crestwood is I call it a chain company because there's Crestwoods all over California, in Stockton, Modesto, Vallejo. In every city there's a Crestwood. So as the years went on, the residents started getting younger. And I started saying to myself, what are these babies doing here? What's going on? Where is... So I started thinking, this is a rehabilitation facility that I'm working in, but I don't see actually rehabilitation happening. I see that the company is housing residents. They're not actually getting them ready to go back into the community. Now, there is two parts of the facility that I work in. One part is the acute facility, the psychiatric health facility. And that is where they stabilize most of the residents. I work on the MHRC, the mental health rehabilitation side, where they are supposed to be getting them ready to go back in the community, teaching them the skills to fend for themselves. In reality, this is not happening. The clientele is actually mixed. They have residents there that are going to be there forever because of crimes that they've committed. And this is a 54-bed facility. About 15 of them are between the ages of 18 to 23. And they are there because of they have cognitive damage from drug use, crystal meth, ecstasy, and they've used this drug together in combination for about 2 to 3 years. And the damages that is caused on their brain, it's sad, it's severe, but what happens is that once this person is strung out on this drug, they start to act out irrationally, they start to act psychotic, they just go into just an actual, I call it a fit. And they wind up in jail. or in the ER, because obviously something is wrong with them. Something is wrong. So they go through what I call a cycle, the mental health cycle. So from the ER or jail, they go to the PUF. That's the psychiatric health facility to get stabilized, the stabilization happens. So they're there for about 48 hours to 14 days for stabilization. And from there, if they don't have really any legal issues pending and the court doesn't conserve them, everybody, I don't know if you understand what conservatorship is, but they appoint someone over them because they can't take care of themselves. So if they're not conserved, they go back out in the community to actually do the same thing, because they don't know. They don't know what's going on. But most of the time what happens is they put them on the LPS, the temporary conservatorship, and then they ship them to the MHRC, the rehabilitation side. What happens at the rehabilitation side is basically they go through a process of, okay, they're not on the drugs anymore, so they're coming back to a little bit of reality, but the drugs that they were on has lasting effects. So say it's been maybe 30 days since they've been on crystal meth, but their ability to learn has been impaired. They can't follow simple verbal tasks, like to say, Johnny, can you go over there and pick up that? It takes a while for them to register to go over there and pick that up. Once they've picked that up, they can't stop the process of picking it up because they don't know when to stop picking it up or setting it down or picking it up. And if you don't recognize these things, you really don't know how to deal with them. But, okay. I deal with these residents every day, and my heart goes out to them because they tell me, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. I want to be on my own. I want to do what you do. You come in here every day. I can work too. I can do what you can do. And I say to myself, you can do what I can do. You can do exactly, live a meaningful life just like I do. But the question that they ask is, how do I do that? I'm in here every day, all day. I walk up and down the halls. We may go out. How would I even survive out there every day? I don't know. I don't know how to do it because it's not being, the skills are not being shown to them. They are not, they're not getting it because it's not, the rehabilitation is not happening. They're just housing them. So Life Recovery Care Facility is going to change that. They're going to, my company is going to individualize their rehabilitation to where individually I will be able to show them the skills or even enhance the skills that they already have to live a meaningful life, to where they have control over what's going on with them. Excuse me, when I say individualize, we know that there's some things that's not good for us. Meaning, if we wake up in the morning and we drink too much coffee, or we don't eat, or we don't do certain things, say we don't take a shower, or we're not able to brush our teeth, mentally, that's gonna mess with us. If we're hungry, we're gonna feel that throughout the day. Some of our residents don't really understand that that is a part of their daily skill. So, anyway, let me get back focused, I'm sorry. My company is going to give them that freedom to do that, to have control over their life. Another thing that is really a problem now is the money situation. They have taken a lot of money from the mental health, a lot. And with that being said, the services are not out there. They put them into these rehabilitation places and they house them for 3 to 6 months maybe. Sometimes they hold on to them for about a year. But after they leave there, they cycle them to another facility, or sometimes they even put them into a lower level, say boarding care. But they're still in the system. There's no way out for them. They still feel as though they're trapped in a cycle. So my company is going to give them a way out. I thank you guys for listening to me this morning, and basically that's the end of my presentation. Have any questions?
Yeah, I do have a question. Are there, you mentioned that this particular service, as far as true rehabilitation goes, isn't out there. So as far as competitors, I guess it would be safe to assume that there are no competitors which would be.
My competitors will actually be the MHRCs. Like the facilities that I work in, those are going to be my competitors.
Even though they're housing, as you said.
Even on their housing, they have a structure of rehabilitation, but it's not happening. They're actually, the front is there, but when you actually get into the facility, the program, there's no structure to it. It's not happening.
Going back to the situation analysis, I don't remember hearing you saying what the size of your clientele is.
Oh,
And also the population. What population are you reaching out to?
well, my population,
I guess the size of the population.
the size of the population. Well, I'm going off of what I see on the daily, so it's about, I said 54 bed to 15. It's about 15 beds are filled with residents ages 18 to 23,
Okay.
and those.
Does this, I guess my question is in the overall population of South Sacramento, or the area that you plan on doing business in, what is the need? Do you know what the need is?
The need is effective rehabilitation. Are you asking me the percentage of the need?
Yeah.
I would say about 30%.
Let me ask you more in regards to the marketing. What would the cost of the services be? How have you thought about your promotion plan, your marketing?
Yes, I actually have. You have to excuse me. Kind of got nervous once I was up here and I just started talking. But the cost of my service would be, regular board and care rate is $9.82, and that would be what the residents actually pay out of their Social Security or their income, their personal income. Now I would ask the counties to pay a stipend of $2,000 a month to pay for the individualized rehabilitation, say the drug addiction classes, the skills, the life skills classes, just every section of their rehabilitation. That's what the $2,000 would pay for.
And it would be in a housing.
Yes, and it would be in a home-like environment and out of the hospital setting, because they don't learn nothing walking up and down the halls.
What is your marketing strategy?
Well, I'm going to go and present my plan to the counties. The counties actually know what's going on, but I want to save them money. My whole marketing strategy is saving the counties money. It costs about $200 to $500 per day for a resident to be at these facilities. But at the psychiatric facility, it costs $1,000 per day. So $2,000 a month for my program would be, yeah, per person. My program would be from 90 to 180 days. That's only about $12,000 for a rehabilitation program to have to have these residents out on their own. And I heard yesterday that when my supervisor was telling me, Clarice, do you know that board and Claire's are closing down? They're not profitable anymore. What's happening is with room and board. And I thought to myself, y'all closing down the board and cares and putting them in room and boards. They really need some help because room and board does not have medication management. They don't know how to take their meds. And one of them, I asked them yesterday, I said, do you know what you take? What do you mean what I take? I said, do you know the meds? What's the name of the meds that you take? No. I gave him a list. I had to give him a list. And every day we going to say one of those and what they're for, what you're taking them for. Any other questions? This was harder than I thought it was.
My name is Antoinette Clark, and my business is called Clark's Garbage Refund. This is my marketing plan. And what we're going to talk about is the market summary, trends of the market, my competition, give you my SWOT analysis, and my communication strategies, and my market growth. And then we'll have questions and answers at the end. So, as for the recycling business, my mission is to help our community become eco-friendly through recycling. And our main thing is to incorporate schools and the education program to introduce recycling programs on their campus. And over the last 2,000 years, the recycling industry has provided more than $77 billion in sales, and more than 100,000 people it has employed. So our main goal is to get all of that into the schools to help them create a fundraising program through recycling. And through the market trends is they have internet, youth, the green era. Green era is, you know, like just recycling, using recycled products, cleaning up behind ourselves and saving money. 80% of 80% of California already use recycled products and recycle, and 19% of them recycle on a continuous basis regarding the recession. My business is actually recession proof. When recession goes down, our business goes up because everybody's looking for money in different ways. So this is my competition here: Tundra, Replanet, Next Cycle, and California Recycles. I have them there according to experience, A, B, C, and D, and innovation. Now, the one I am, Toma actually kind of helps with the other ones because Toma, they produce reverse vending machines. What those are is those vending machines where people put in recycled products and it counts them out for them like a vending machine and it pays them out. Toma actually supplies those to those ones right there. But my main competitor is Replanet because they actually have recycling programs already in schools. But the difference between them and me is that I'll pay more. All of them pay the basic minimum, which is $1.59 for aluminum, $1.07 for plastics, and 22 cents for non-recyclable, you know, like non-CRV, California cash refund. And so they've all been in the business more than 20 years, and I think that's going to be a little bit hard for me, but I think that my incentives to help the schools a little bit more will get the traffic that I need for my business. And then for my SWOT analysis, my strengths for my business is the knowledge, operation, hours of operation, approach, and research, and the accepted materials. Now, for me, I have a business degree, so running my business wouldn't be an issue. The hour operations, usually most recycling centers are open from 8 to 5, and those are the hours that people are usually at work, 8 to 5. For our on-site recycle center, we're going to be open from 7 to 7, which gives people those early birds to come in and recycle then, and the people who get off work to recycle after work. And then we also have some, our weaknesses are we're new in the market, the expenses were small, theft, established buyers, and travelers. Now, the way that we're going to offset our weaknesses, even though we are small, we're going to have up-to-date technology, which even though we are small will be effective, and our customer service will be even will subside for that. And for theft, we're going to make sure that all, like theft meaning, because we are new, there's people out there, we call them cons, and they come in, they try to have the recyclables filled with lots of non-recyclable materials. So we're going to make sure that we assist all our sellers with sorting all their materials. That way they get the great customer service, and we make sure that we're not being defrauded through any of the materials that are not recyclable. And we have opportunities, and our opportunity is the schools. This year actually, they're closing down 7 of our elementary schools. My niece actually goes to one. And these schools here, if it was more of a funding issue, and I think that if they would have the opportunity to have a recycling program on the schools, because our recycling programs actually give the schools ability to have grants given to them, and so if they would have had the recycling program, I think it would have been able to keep the schools going and things like that. And then for the other businesses in the thrift store, meaning that sometimes people come in and they're selling their recyclables, you know, some of the recyclable materials, but some of that stuff is in still good working condition. We can take those things gently used and sell them to our consumers at a discount rate. So that way we keep the recycling going, and we also still make money at the same time. our threats is theft, con, fraud, cross state lines, quality of air, and competitors. What I mean by that, the crossing the state lines, is that people, not all the other states have high CRV prices as we do. So there's people who actually go around to different states just collecting recyclables to come back here to California and cash them in for the bigger profits. We're going to make sure that we have our logs are in check. We make sure we get state IDs and things of that nature, and we will be checking to see if they are CRV compatible. And so these are my communication strategies. This is how I plan to advertise. I'm going to use bench ads around my facility where we are located, and we're going to have keepsakes because we're going to be dealing with lots of children, and we want people to promote for us too. So keepsakes are like pins, stickers, t-shirts, and things like people can, like bumper stickers that they can have for them and promote us as well. We'll use TV, radio, and banners. Banners are going to be hung up at locations where we already recycle. And we also partner with some of the other gas stations and things like that will let us hang banners on their facility to come towards us. And this is the mixed solid waste generation growth. Over the last 3 years, we have grown. Between 2009 and 2010, a recession hit, so you can see the huge jump in numbers here. And these are millions of pounds recycled. So, and in 2011, we had a little slight jump, but it's always recession-proof because we're still going to always, I think as the numbers go up, people will recycle more as time goes on because we want to keep our environment clean and keep our environment clean. And so, this is my launching strategy, how I plan to work. I'm going to start off going on to the Cerner Center there so I can petition for multiple schools, because at some schools, well, mostly you're supposed to talk to the head of the school first before you can go out and to distribute it to the schools. So I want to get the okay from the Cerner Center to go out and to solicit to some of these other small schools. And then you see in phase 1, 2, and 3, between August and November will be our I'm going to say collection, where we're going to go out to schools, because mainly I want to start in July so we can have the program up and running for the school year that starts at the end of August. So those few months we're going to be spending generating more clients to come in so we can have a bigger function in the end, because at the end of each school year we would like to have a raffle, and we would like to give the school that recycles the most a donation for being the greener school. You know what I mean? So I think that gives the incentive for the school to want to recycle more, and it's also going to involve the parents as well, because they're going to receive prizes as well. So it's an incentive for the school and for the parents, for everyone and all. And then this is my market size here. And for sales for aluminum, glass, peat moss, and all of these other recyclables here, these are numbers, containers sold. So like aluminum cans, there was 19 million sold. Over 19 million sold, and only 17 million were recycled. So there's still 2 million out there that up for grabs for me. That's just one thing. So if we can just get a hold of all of these additional people, I mean all of the additional containers that were not recycled will be in the good. And then this is my target market. The Sacramento Public is 460,000, and then daycare centers, restaurants, and schools. Those are within the Sacramento area. Our main thing, we want to target at least 7%. If we target at least 7% of our market, will be at $1.4 million of sales. So this is how it's broken down. We have a yearly customers, and I said at 7% is 60,000. And if everybody just recycled, you know, because I got the numbers from the Cal Recycle, And they say 92% of all sales are for aluminum, 87% is for plastic, 36% is glass, paper is 31, environmentals is 16. Now, if we do this at just 7% and within 1 year, the cost of materials will be $931,000, and our total sales will be $1.4 million. Now, our forecast is we plan to grow, and our magic number here is 7%. Over the next 3 years, we would like to increase at least 7% a year. So our first year we plan to do 1.4. Our next year we plan to do 1.6, and the year after that we plan to do 1.8. Any questions?
That one, don't need to do all that, you covered it all.
You did that.
We got numbers. Okay.
Very well presented, very well presented. You knew your material, and you just went forth with it. Nice job.
Thank you.
I think when you do something so well put out, you open yourself when you target a school district to know the market, to know how schools, districts do business. And if I were to say what was weak, only because I come from education, that was your weak point.
Okay.
Because you need to understand how site councils work and how to get on the campus. And you know, you have to be careful not to say assumptions when that's your target base. You know, if it's going to be school districts, or stick with school districts, then you need to know the calendar and how they do funding, which you didn't, you know, you have to define that. You can't, you put some statements that were based on you're leaning to your own understanding. So you have to be clear. The calendar for school districts, the funding cycle is August and May. So you have to understand the funding piece, and you have to, and it's not like go to the school district to certain office. You have to go and establish relationship with the principal, and go through the site council, and you have to have, the other marketing piece that I see is that you have to have a way that children learn something through the recycling piece. So you have to have an educational component, and then you have to have a marketing strategy to get students on board. And if you're saying you're gonna give an incentive, you have to define the incentive. And so, even though it was done wonderful, because you said certain things that I knew that you hadn't done your work and you were putting assumptions, that's where you're weak. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
And people who are from that field, they would know immediately if they were sitting on a funding board that you were saying a lot of things that were bogus, that you hadn't done your work.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? It was done so well,
Right.
but you never know who's gonna be sitting in the audience.
Right.
And what they're going to be saying, you know, they're thinking, oh, well, this was done well, like, how is she going to, you know, so you have to build, you know, some kind of, curriculum around what you're doing. And I think it was excellent. And I probably could advise you with my experience, even if you take a few things that I'm saying today and go back. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because you gotta tighten it up, and, you know, like, and you have to have a t-shirt thing, and you have to have, the little kids have to buy into it.
Right.
And the school has to know what their cut is.
Right.
You know, so if they're gonna, you do this, you're saying you're gonna build a business on 7%.
Right.
Well, what are they gonna do? You know, so the principal and the site council need to know exactly how much they're gonna get from partnering with you, so that they will let you come on campus, have access to their student body, and be able to have an end of the year presentation,
Right.
and do the incentive piece. So that's the only thing I would say. I thought it was excellent.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, cause yeah, you're a teacher. Okay.
That was awesome, because I, in my mind, I just visualized the whole campaign in the classroom, especially first and second graders, you know, the t-shirt hunt, because they're someone designed I know in Scotland they had a program where, we were doing the West Nile thing, and so the kids, helped design a logo, and they actually put the winners,
actually do have all of that covered. I've actually spoken to a principal at Ethelene Baker. She's actually invited me to a council meeting to speak about my recycle
So
center.
if that's gonna be your focus, I think that you just need to,
And I have an education plan that I actually adopted from another state. I just haven't changed the material to be towards Sacramento, but I already have an education plan already. I didn't speak upon that, but I know
I'm
the,
saying if you cite it as your target market,
right,
I'm saying then that's the one, you don't have to tell about everything. As your target market, you have to give your example built within that target market that you set. Because that's gonna be your carrot. Because people are gonna be focused on, oh, so this is gonna be an educational component. Oh, so she's gonna use this as a focus. And I'm saying, people only have, if you can do this in 20 minutes, that's it, 15 minutes, then you almost have it. So I'm just saying, think about that piece, and then think about a neighborhood piece that, a lot of seniors, a senior program, can't lift a trash can. Seniors can't lift the trash can, they're too heavy. So you could have little kids going and on a East Street, bringing the trash can out the day before, then separating the recycling. And so there's ways to build community involvement in your aid and being able to link schools with neighborhoods. And that's all I wanted to say. I think it
Thank
was
you.
great.
Thank you.
I'm excited for it. You don't have to explain or defend. I just wanted to add that.
I appreciate it.
So that you can take it.
Yeah, I'll take it this year. I'm trying to be having this year, so. Alrighty.
So you said July, so I would say August. And I would say August, when the schools go back, they come back in August.
Right,
And
and
then they
just a
revise.
question, since they come back in August, I wouldn't be able to try to start it earlier than that, like try to get the school on board. I know not the actual program in the school wouldn't start until school started, but to actually solicit for the program at the school
No,
is why I want to
just
say
wouldn't
July.
recommend that you went to the district office until you started a couple pilots in a couple of schools. And then took the pilot and took it to the district office and asked for them to support your overall campaign as a district-wide initiative.
Okay.
So I wouldn't start at the district, I would start at 3 schools and different areas and wherever your market or range is gonna be. And see, that's why when you do this, when it says to talk about your situational analysis, then you say, well, Margaret Fortune started her school, she went to the board and asked for 10, they gave her 5, she said she'll start in the south area, she started with 2 elementaries, 2 middle schools are getting ready to open up, and then she's gonna have a high school, and the other 5 will be in the north area. So I'm saying, so you've gotta start small, you have to have a pilot,
Right.
and you have to develop principles that are going to say, this was a good thing, I think you should support this, this is what we got, and then you document that in your next step. And you build from small, and then you choose different areas of the district, the north area, the south, depending upon what your constituent, it's gonna look different depending upon, and so it'll be multicultural, it won't be just black. So you move from district area to area, and then you go and talk to the board. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Awesome.
100%.
Yeah. good
Wow.
job. Why isn't it stop?
And about this water.
not to interrupt you, but I was just thinking, I said, I'm asking Ashley to help me with my PowerPoint.
That's
but
what I
that was
want you
great.
to
I said, I'm sure you, for real, I was just thinking, I was like, oh, that's confirmation.
No, it's really important to do that. You know, this is the class of 2013, right? So you guys gotta be, you know, yeah, fine tuning yourself. Because you have somebody who's an expert in house and you've got to, you can't, whatever she has, you gotta get it.
Yeah, I said, amen.
What in the world is all that going on?
Yeah.
Business plan. See how it's grown.
You still have to do your overall presentation.
All right, you ready? I'm definitely, you ready.
Okay. I'm just gonna, I don't know, I want music to it. I did a preview last night and it felt good. My wife liked it, so I was like, all right,
Relax.
it's fine with me. Hello everyone, my name is Gregory James and this is my marketing plan today for Joseph Business School, April 27th, 2013. I created a company by the name of James Media. We are the fusion of technology and creativity. And my computer is acting up. So I'm gonna do without music for sure. And then I am going to try this one last time. Yes. So I'm just going to advance my show without my phone. And James Media is a new company here in Sacramento, and we provide marketing videos, documentary, web campaigns, and creative video editing, and production services for small to large scale events. Our production methods have been refined over the years to make sure that we can anticipate any changes that might happen during a show or for a shoot. So we come prepared with maybe an extra camera or an extra cable of some sort to make sure that we are, we're prepared, and if they need larger equipment, we can order that equipment. Our mission is that we are dedicated to producing superior quality content through the use of current technologies and media formats. Our services consist of video production, live audio, studio audio, projection, lighting, and photography. Those are the services that we offer. Oh, there's photography. And post-production editing services. The products that we offer are music videos, training videos, how-to videos, how to stretch, how to cook, how to work out when people want to put small things on the internet. Event video capture, meaning we would capture this type of event, a worship service, or an event where my son attends Fortune School, and they had an event at the state capitol a couple of years, 2 years ago. And so as a parent, I went and set up my camera and was able to capture some B-roll and some kids having fun and talking. And I primarily went to go support Margaret Fortune, which you spoke about earlier, and just to capture that event so we have something to archive for what she's doing in our community. So there's various products that we can offer through event video capture. Commercials and public service announcements. Our market consists of artists, Christian artists, and clean content artists. I just don't want to just set to just Christian artists, but be able to let my light shine in others that they may be able to change their lives in the content that they bring to the world. Okay, but for sure you can't come in cursing. I just don't have time for that. Bands, brides and grooms for weddings, faith-based groups, and nonprofit organizations, businesses, corporations, and government agencies, such as the state of California, Army. There's a lot of governmental agencies out there that are looking for production services, and they're really big contracts. Our competition are teenagers. My 1-year-old daughter, she will come home and she'll say iPad. My wife has an iPad, I have an iPad, so she's 1, I have a 3, Makai, so he already knows how to go in and do the whole thing. And then Zion, he's 10, so he's the ringleader. So I say teenagers because the generation that we have now and the way things are ramping, anybody can do this if you just put your mind to it. Because then you'll end up being like myself, a small company, a guy who was a little geeky, kind of committed to doing something and got opportunity after opportunity, and now I have a small business. So there's a lot of guys out there that have the gamut of gear that I have, a couple more years of experience, and they can produce just as well as I can. So the market is very tough because there's no room for mistakes, especially when you get into Kaiser and you have a certain corporate look and feel that they're looking for. And then large production companies that have the staffing, production companies that have the history to have the finance. Our position in the competitive market is good for 3 years in, I feel. I just need to, I need a team, I need help. I need help. God knows I need help. We are in the faith-based market already. I'm a full-time employee of the Progressive Church of God in Christ. I've been there about 6 years, and I've produced all the content, YouTube, television, the whole 9 yards. So I've had a lot of experience with them. I've also, because in the Church of God in Christ we have many different meetings, there are a lot of churches in the Church of God in Christ that don't have the understanding of proper audio and visual services to spread the gospel of Jesus Christ to the world, right? Even just when you go in and you hear it and it doesn't sound good, we got to make sure that my drive has always been, if MTV is delivering it to our youth, we got to deliver it to our youth the same exact way. So I've partnered here with South Sacramento Christian Center. I've been here for about 4 months now, and under Pastor Les's direction, I now have a fully functional editing studio and video production green screen that we've produced a lot of fun events out of, and just, when I say I need help, I've been so happy and so fun and loving it that I've bit off a little bit more work than I think I can honestly handle right this second. So I have some major turnarounds that I have to do, like no sleep for the next couple of nights type situations. But if I can get through this with God's help, may I'll recover and then, and put my team together. When I say I need help, it's an understatement. I'm sorry, I missed out Sacramento Christian Center on my slide. So we want to build more into the corporate market. I just picked up the Lymphoma and Leukemia Society Boy and Girl Video of the Year. That's the one I slept on and have to deliver by next week. But the timeline is coming together and the content is looking great. It sounds good. The state of California, I just shot video yesterday at the Department of Social Services at the 2 Twin Towers. So yeah, I've done a lot of work. And so partnering with other larger production companies is my position in the market, because I was a full. Yesterday I shot video for for Metro Media Productions, but because Greg James shot it, and because Greg James does video editing, it helps build my portfolio. Even though I did it for Metro Media, I'm taking that business that Metro Media is giving me and using that to build my portfolio also. I was hired with Metro Audio Visual Production Companies for 3 or 4 years before I stopped traveling across the country and came home to do it at the church. And I still am in, let me tell you a backstory. This guy is an awesome guy right here, and he had he started doing projectors out of his home and built up to do a large boutique audiovisual company that is now worldwide. He partnered with this guy many, many years ago to do business, and they fell out within a couple of months. And he always has told me, don't ever do business with anybody, just do it by yourself. Don't do business partners, just do it by yourself. And so they didn't really get along, and now I work for both of them. I have, but I tell him, he's like, oh, you working for Paul? I was like, no, I'm working for James Media, because I'm showing up to do me. And I can get gear, equipment from either one of these gentlemen at the same time or separately. I just need the client. So if you problem with the client, I know how to do it, and I'm building a team. I've worked with Brentwood Visual. That's where I did all the Army stuff. And I've worked with many others. So what is the plan? My plan for the first 3 years of business was just to work. People want to do a business plan, and I shouldn't say it like that, because that's how I used to be. I didn't want to do a plan. I didn't want to really have business cards. The website is like, if I didn't have everything right, I just really wasn't ready to do all that. I was just saying, just get to work. So what Michael taught me from Metro Audio Visual Productions, when I was always talking to him about business, he's like, you want to know what my business plan is? And I said, what? He said, it's to make as much money as possible every single day. So you're picking up the phone and you're making that cold call. You're making sure you're upselling your equipment by 20 or 30%. You're writing contracts that allow them to, if I do this event for you, I'll give you a 30% discount if you give me all of your events for the next 3 years. Okay? So to deliver consistent quality, a consistent quality product every single time is the best advertisement campaign that I can put on. Word of mouth, letting people know, let my work showing and letting people talk about my work. So I've shot weddings, community walking events for Girl Trek, Metro Media, The Office. There's a picture of actually Fortune School right there when I shot a little piece with them. So just letting your work just show for itself.
We are the Daughters of Harvest from the Progressive Church of God in Christ, joining in with the Girl Trek organization, walking in honor of the 100-year anniversary of Harriet Tubman. 100 years ago today, March the 10th, was her death, and she could walk for our freedom, we can walk for our health. This begins an 8-week challenge for the ladies to making a commitment to healthier bodies, healthier minds, and healthier spirits.
On this walk today, I'm an older woman, but I know it's good for my health, and the reason we're walking the Harriet Tubman walk, it's great, and I'm enjoying it.
Harriet Tubman means to me that she was a strong African-American woman, leading her people to freedom. Woo!
I'd say thank you, Harriet, for everything you've done for us.
I'm doing this walk today in celebration of Harriet Tubman's life. She was a great trailblazer for the African-American community and a great help to stop slavery. I'm doing it today also for myself, to get healthier, to strive to be more fit, and just to be in the atmosphere of other Black women that are striving for the same goals and ideas that I have.
Kathy James, president of Daughters of Harvest. We are out walking today to say thank you, Harriet, for everything that you've done. All the women had a blast. Thanks.
Such a great walk, and it was really nice to be able to go out and honor Harriet Tubman. This is really good. I really appreciate Girl Check for this walk to happen today in Sacramento. We just thank our pastor for allowing us to come out and fellowship together. God bless you.
So my daughter's son's godmother is her sister is the founder of Girl Trek, which is an organization out of the East Coast, Washington, D.C. So they said, Brother Gray, can you donate your time to come and videotape us after service? And I said yes, and the day came and we went out there and had a blast, did that. She sent the video over. I shot that on a Sunday after service, and I played that back Sunday night in service at 7:30. I was actually editing while we were sitting at dinner. That was the same cut. That was the same cut. There was I've added some, I think I made some changes since then, but that is the cut. It kind of messes me up because it was the first time I've used a certain editing application, and it allowed me to actually play a good preview out of the application versus having to render it out, because they were in service introducing it, and I was still trying to, thank you, Jesus. And to finish that story, the lady out of Washington, D.C. loved it so much they put it on their Facebook page and their website page and said that they will be contacting me for future business and keep me, at the top of, they're in the East Coast, so it's kind of easier to get somebody for their budgetaries, but she had nothing but, and she, said, hey, here's my YouTube password, put it on my account for me, and it was a great opportunity. And so now we have emails, and I'm ready to rock and roll with her. Our color schemes and our logos will appear on all stationery advertisements and signage. Uh-oh, wrong way. This includes the internet, website marketing efforts. We are consistent in all promotions and advertisement marketing strengths to our image and to set us apart from our competitors. So part of the plan is to obviously have business cards. So I currently already have a card set up. James Media just released their brand new website like 3 weeks ago. So that's finally up. And so the next step is to do some Google Analytics. So, we can track our performance and how people are searching us and finding audiovisual company or production companies on the web. There's also YouTube and Vimeo that we use as our marketing plan that offer free television, if that's what you want to call it, because that's kind of where everything is going these days. So being able to display our creative services on those formats. We also plan on having a trifold brochure. I started one a couple months ago, and just been so busy, haven't really got around to finishing that up. But I do have a timeline set up in this presentation also. Then there's the apparel, the clothing, hats, shirts, t-shirts, polo shirts, long sleeve black shirts. We have some now, but I was even kind of thinking about selling some of it, but I don't know. That's a whole nother presentation, I guess. And then Facebook. The reason I put Facebook on here is because this stat will show you, and I wanted to pull up something different. I went back and put a lot of information into Facebook in a timeline back from a couple years ago. And March 8th was like the week of my birthday. It was telling me that was my busiest month of being noticed because I put all that information in there. And ever since then, you can see now that I went from like 13 likes to 72 likes in a matter of 2 weeks. There's friends of fans, 32,000 people, have heard or seen or know about. Currently, this was over the other day, there's nobody talking about James Media because I haven't posted anything. My weekly reach is down 39%, because I went up so high that 1 week. I was like way up here. Now I'm coming down because I haven't been consistently putting some stuff out. So that's how that Facebook works. And Facebook is so important because I was reading an article. Can I please take this call? My wife's on the road without me, and I need to just check on her. I apologize. Yes, ma'am. Is everything okay? Okay, I'm in the middle of my presentation. Can you guys get to a safe place, and I'll call you right back? Okay. Okay. I apologize. The car is, I guess, leaking some kind of fuel on the road or something. I don't know, but I'll call back. They're safe. I apologize. It's a long ways to go without me. My presentation stopped. So Facebook, I was reading an article in regards to social networks, social marketing, and the way people use it now. 20% is LinkedIn, 20% is Instagram and Tumblr, all these different social media forums. I figured Facebook is, if everybody is on it or working to be on it, that's where I want to be, to make sure I market myself as much as possible. That's where people go to look for it. I mean, I've had people send me Facebook messages asking me to come and do business, and then I never talk to them, because then from there it's text. They want to text communications about when I'm showing up or how much the contract is. It's really weird. It's really weird when you get to think about why people would do that. But that's the generation that we now live in. Just looking for my presentation file. Catch up to where we were. Right there. Press play. Getting good at this now. So 20% use LinkedIn. And these are just of the adults survey. 20% use Twitter. 20% use Pinterest. LinkedIn is just basically like a digital resume. Twitter is 25 words of what you want to say to somebody, to just put something out there real quick to let people keep knowing that you're in business. I don't know what Pinterest is. Instagram is, I guess, taken over too. It's photography to a whole nother level. Tumblr, I think, is the one where you only use Tumblr, and then it tumbles whatever information you put out to everything else. And then Facebook, 67% of adults were using Facebook. Marketing plans idea. Location, location, location.
Now, the Way to Go Christian Club is a business that will flourish because there are ways to help others succeed without borrowing large sums of money. It's one out goal. And we have books for others to sell that are already published for a small fee. Our goal is to be able to purchase a bus for our tours, and legal form of ownership will be sole soprietor. We will be sending out flyers and newsletters weekly with updated information, and we will be contacted by phone, doing surveys. Operational plan already has been included, and our financial plan already been that we'll be selling books. And library research for business plans is our appendix, and Google search for marketing books, and the use of the Chamber of Commerce. And that's the end of our presentation for the Way to Go book club. Thank you.
So where will this book club be located?
Well, it's located, right here in the end of, the church entrance right here in between the, Jiffy Lube.
In the
Place,
social,
which
in the
is-
social security
Mhm.
office?
And no, as a matter of fact, we don't have a building.
Oh, you don't have a
We don't have need of a building.
You don't have,
So it's a mobile, that's what,
that was my
Yes,
question.
it's
It's a
mobile.
mobile, okay.
It's-
it's a trailer?
No, it's not a
Well, it
trailer.
moves. So it's not,
It's
it's not a
just,
business that's.
as a matter of fact, it's just a faith building club, and it's Christian, mature Christians. And that means the mature Christian part is each mature Christian has a vision from God, what their calling is. And once they have what their calling is, there's no way you can shake them off of it. And that's most what this club is. It's a Christian club, maturity, and we will be looking for souls whenever we
When you
can.
get together?
That's right.
Okay.
Okay, so I have a question, Sister Davis, I have a question on, you were giving out some figures, for instance, I wasn't sure if it was a monthly fee, you mentioned something about slot machines, and something about books.
Mhm.
So I guess it's kind of a trifle, I'm not sure what the monthly fee is for, I wasn't sure exactly what books you were referring to, if you could clarify that, and also, that the slot machine thing kind of.
Okay, well, the thing about it is, the place where we're gonna gather is a casino. It's called the Thunder Valley Casino, and it's located on Athens Avenue out in Lincoln, California. And, we have to be mature enough to know where we're going and what we're doing. So that means the babies will not be invited. So anyway, in the legal age, the reality age is 62 and over. Anyway, for them, but some of us, we might have just been born again or something, but even if we're 62. But, this is definitely for mature Christians, because, you're going almost in what they used to teach us like a wall zone.
Right.
And we're gonna have to be, you know,
Be prayed up.
full on with.
Head to toe.
That's right. And another goal is, a lot of people that has been crying in tears and in need because they go out there and they win something and then they sit there and put it back in the machine. And, since we've been going to this Joseph School helping, we have seen some already delivered from that. So we have proof and we can bring witnesses in that it has helped.
And so in looking at your plan, you chose to have car rental over having a bus.
Well,
You know, how does that?
no, with the bus. The car rental is for those that would like to come and go and be available for the bus, but they cannot get there. You know, they need
Oh, okay.
somebody to come get them.
Somebody has to get them and take them to
Right,
the bus.
so the rental car
Oh, I
is for
get that.
going and get them.
Okay.
And then when the bus brings us back, for taking them back home.
Okay. That explains something. How do you feel about that?
I feel good about it because it's already been helped. And I have relatives that have been delivered, truly delivered. And we can say that it works, the plan works. And I haven't heard of any more clubs like it because their clubs is, you know, a different kind, but our club is on the Lord's side. So, but we do have to know how to live with others and get along and, you know, be helpful.
If I were to make a suggestion, I would say, I would kind of condense and make it a little more precise my mission. Cause I think that, if you can kind of condense that to, you know, 1 or 2 sentences, we are a mature Christian group
Yes.
who
lessons on Tuesdays from 7 p.m. to 7:40. We have a drama that meets Friday, 7 to 8:30 p.m. And all workshops are $10 per month, per child. And I'm telling you, the parents just, they come. I got a waiting list. Description of our workshop: the piano student learn theory of piano playing, which includes sight reading, symbols of the music sheets, note values, and the relationships of the notes to the keyboard. Group lessons are taught by the executive director, who is me. And I had teachers, my grandmother put me, Big Mama, put me in piano lessons when I was 8 years old. And I had teachers that believed in me knowing the notes. You have to know your notes. You have to know the value of your notes. You have to be able to look at that music sheet and relay it to the keyboard. So I teach as if I were teaching kids to become concert pianists. Drama group: students learn the skills of pantomime, improvisation, voice projection, character analysis, and bonding with each other. The theater group is taught by Miss Rainisha Wiggins, who is my granddaughter. She is a graduate from Sheldon High School. Sheldon has a performing arts curriculum, and she was in the art curriculum ever since she'd been there, so that was 3 years. She is now a student in Sierra College with continued study of theater. She has come back in and took over the drama group. Marketing plans. My ultimate goal is to increase community interest in the arts, sharing it with youth in underexposed and at-risk communities. I am starting to, I have recruited students from high school and college students with music and performing arts background. And the parents, I have to have the parents to participate to motivate their children to practice and also bring them to their lessons on time. Heart to Heart Ministries market strategy is to become more efficient. We have to develop a website, and we have. It's hearttoheartyouthministries.com. We develop a consistent logo, which is the 2 hearts in the corner. We have developed business cards, and we are in the process of developing a brochure. We're also in the process of looking for grant money. We had some money to come in, a little bit of money that was earmarked for grant writing. So that's what I'm looking for now, because I don't have time to do all this stuff because I am so concentrating on running this program. And so I have to do a lot of work myself. Marketing strategies. We need to continue support from the family, bringing their children to lessons on time. We need family support with costume making, stage assistants, and other artists such as videographers, prop, and light technicians. We do have a videographer that comes in and donates his time whenever we do a community production. We do have a prop and light technician that donate their time. Competition. Most piano teachers charge $85 to $100 a month. Klein Music charges $100 per month for a half hour, no group piano. Skip Music Store charges $90 per month, half hour, no group piano. Sorry about the misspelled word. Wackford Community Center, which is in Elk Grove, is 6-week group piano, $120, but they want the $120 up front. South Point Community Center, 6-week group piano, $60 up front. And Phoenix Park has just started a group piano lessons, but that's for tenants only. SWAT, our strength. Because we are a not-for-profit status, we're able to use the Elk Grove Unified School District facilities. That's the one we use at Charles Mack at a cost of $5.50 an hour. Isn't God good? Which includes our electricity and our gas. That's why I'm able to charge $10 a month per child. And you know, some parents donate even more money. Insurance donated through a broker, which is $150 a year, but he takes care of that, even if we can't. Families support financially and also gives gifts of donations. We could not exist without the family support financially because the community has to buy into it. Our weakness, because the schools are open to all organizations on a first-come, first-served basis, we take a chance of losing our location and time slot every year when that renewal comes up. We do plan ahead for, should be other sites if needed. Opportunities. Heart to Heart has many opportunities. We have performed at community events, convalescent homes, Children's Fairy Tale Town, and for a retired fire chief for his 89th birthday. And that was really, they set it up in his backyard, and it was a surprise to him. Threats, because of the facility being on a first come, first served basis, we stand a chance for losing our dates and our allotted time slot. We believe because of the area we are in, very few organizations will bid us out. We have been there in that time slot for 3 years. And we are in the heart. We're right close to Meadowview. Yeah. We're right in the heart. So not too many people are going to come down and want to be in the heart of an area that has a lot of crime and a lot of gangs involved. Job descriptions: drama teacher should have at least 3 years of theater. Piano teacher, at least 10 years of teaching, and piano assistant, what I use now because I have 17 kids in the piano program, teaching them all in a group. So the kids that I've been with, that have been with me for 2 years, are now beginning to teach the beginners, because by now they definitely know where their middle C position and everything is. My dance teacher, which I'm collaborating with another organization, at least has to have 2 years of experience. Our financial plan, our finances will come through grants and donors. We are hoping to gain $10,000 a year. It's not that I'm going to make any money. And I have to explain this and be very careful when I say this. The Lord has provided me with other financial opportunities that will take care of me. I work for the Elk Grove Unified School District as a para-educator and also a drama teacher. But the Lord has blessed me to go back into chaplaincy. So I'll be resigning from the school district and going to a chaplaincy residential program at UC Davis starting in August, which hopefully will give me more time. And also will put me in a status now of getting back into the ministry full time and given me the status of a board certified chaplain. So therefore I'll be able to expand the ministry not only with the music but continue to counsel, which I love to do. I love drug and alcohol counseling. I love to work with the family on different issues. And piano is just a passion. I could do it as a hobby. Our youth, I want them to write letters to local business, private donors for them to adopt a child for piano and drama at a donation of $45 or $50 per month per child. That would help a lot with giving me stipends for college students. And the reason, and I know people say you could go and you can get them free, but with me having to go through the colleges, money was a real issue for me. And if I could just get something to put gas in my car, it would help. So because Heart to Heart Ministries is a community ministry and organization, we want to be able to give back to people as much as possible. So being able to give a college student $375 a month would just do my heart well. Because like I said, I'm taken care of. God takes care of me. I don't have to charge all that. And I don't want to. I wouldn't be in it if I had to. This is an income statement. I'm sorry I don't have it on the grid. But this right here is how good God is. He is mighty. Man, I'll tell you, I don't want to start because I'll start preaching. But the revenue we get is $100 a month for student fees. We just got in for my birthday, which was on the 18th. I went and had breakfast with one of my students' parents. And that was my birthday present. $852. She said, not only have you given my daughter drama lessons, because she's in our drama program, but you are a mentor to her. And she's getting ready to go in high school. And we talked about issues about her going into high school, and we prayed about it and everything. And I'm like, God, you're just so good. Look at what you're doing. I mean, look at what you're doing. Money coming out of nowhere. Donation projected is coming from Clorox Foundation, where another friend of mine does a match, and Clorox will be giving us $280 every 3 months. Now tell me God is not good. Oh my God. And so our expenses, look at this, our rent to use the facility for 2 days is $38 a month. Now don't you tell me God, I mean, hey, look, that's awesome. Because I took my own money when I was making really good money and I put it in something that represented God. And this is just for me, this is not for everybody. And I just said, hey, I'm making money here. You take this because I know that this community needs help. I know that these kids need help. And he's getting ready to give it back. And I tell you, sitting in the church, because I am a member of South Sacramento Christian Center, the Lord dropped in my spirit, you're going to be a billionaire. And I had to tell the pastor that while he was up there, and he said, a billionaire. Billionaire Sharon. And so he spoke it with me. And I don't know how these things happen, but I know that my God can supply all my needs, and he can do the impossible. He can do the impossible. My gas is, actually it's $25, and I think I added it in that. And the drama teacher, I was able to give her $50, and then I'm going to turn around as a surprise and give her another $50. And our net profit for April, this is only April, is $1,192.
Wow.
Being on track. We will know if we're on track by the number of students we serve each year, our ability to pay the rent, wages to our teachers, and the successful outcomes of serving the community through recitals, our piano recitals, and our production. And that's it.
I love how there's a young lady who's making events right now to donate to organizations like yours. Her name is Michael Burke. I'm gonna have to get her. And there's actually a grant for people for art and corrections that I just received. gotta really focus on the talent and focus on, you know, the other program that I can tell you right off the top of my head is Breakthrough Sacramento. That is a transitional program for students that are recruited from 6th grade to, they're transitioning to 7th grade. And they have a summer program in their country day school. They have a 1-month program, but guess what the staff is? High school and college students. High school and college students and their staff, they each have 2 curriculum responsibilities, 1 subject matter and 1 talent. And you can't imagine the power that student peer mentoring and teaching can take the kids over the top in that 30 days. And at the end, they do have a prep-up program. So you have lots of different components that you could start getting, you know, really become a billionaire. You really do have a lot of different ways that I could see you taking over top. So I'm really excited about what you're doing because I'm into education and I can just see, you know, what you can do and you can do so much. You know, so I'm really happy that I got to hear what you're doing for God.
I'm just getting excited.
Yeah, you know, we're 2 teachers,
Just getting,
we're just
yeah.
excited about what you're
Coming from
doing.
a triple classroom, I'm excited, I love the classroom, I love especially the babies, 1st and 2nd grade. But I was bit by the bug when I was 8, so I just started tearing up and started talking because the power of the stage and just the arts and in the school, a lot of times in the school, I don't think it's given the credit that it's due. And you take, the person they want to take credit, I don't get that, but I love what you're doing, I love that, I love listening to your story and your background. I worked at YA for a while, and it just rang true to me, just the creativity, the God-given talented behind some of those brothers, you know, and there's no one to nourish that, and, you know, just plant seed, and it just, I'm speechless, it's a beautiful thing, I love that the Lord gave that to you, that you will be.
And I think the other thing that I want to add is the recommendation that I gave to Clark, it has to be yours. You have to go and find out, you're worried about sustainability in the building, but if you're doing the site council, new building, new plan, you don't have to worry about it. So you need to really get on the campus and learn, you know, the site council meets, and you should have a couple parents that are on that site council. And you say, look, we want this in our program, and guess what, every year you'll be there. You don't have to worry about, will I be there or not? You're not actively engaged in the policy and the program delivery thing that the school, you can say, this is a 5-year plan, 10-year plan, guess what, it'll be there. I mean, but you have to put it in the site council thing, and so you need to understand that a verbal relationship with the principal can, you know, supersede what the site council puts in place. You know, and I think that that's, and then you have an invaluable tool and you have a presentation, but you don't have to worry so much, will they kick me out here this year or next year if you've gone through the site council process. So what I was sharing with her is what you also need to do.
You agree with that?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I managed to get through this.
You did.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, I gotta go do that. Oh, we can do this over here? We can go and add value to it? Oh, well, let me do this.
Students, what you asked? Oh, come on. It scared the do out of you, it felt better after you did it, or you didn't think you did as good as you thought you were gonna do, or? Okay, that's what it's meant for. This was your kind of tippy toe in the pool to see if the water is cold or just right. Because when you do your business plan in July, then you're gonna be doing a bigger plan. It's gonna be a little bit longer, and you're gonna be getting grilled on all the stuff that we told you to correct today. Should be corrected by then. So you should add it in. The other thing I want to touch on is think back to your PowerPoint class now. A lot of you, and when everybody does this, I've been teaching for 30 years, even before PowerPoint came out, we used to write on those overheads and stuff. Don't put too much stuff on a slide. Your slide should have about 3 or 4 bullets on it. You should not have any narrative. Like, you can't take stuff off of a sheet of paper in a book and put on a slide. You gotta break it down into bullets, because what you wanna do is have the bullets to remind you of what you wanna talk about. Your written plan should have all the narrative. Your slides should just have a couple of bullet points for you to talk from.
Okay.
So, and if you wanna put the bells and whistles like Greg did with the stars behind it, smoke when the stuff moves around, you could do that too. I'm sure for a slight fee, he'll hook you up. But overall, you guys did an excellent job. I know you guys were sweating it for the last few weeks. I've looked at more marketing plans this week than I've ever looked at in my life, except last year this time. So I think give yourselves a hand. You did an excellent job. And Clarice, since you up, will you play us out?
Yes, I mean, well,
like,
I say
like
no.
you can say no. Huh?
No.
I still got your score sheet over there. So.
Oh, okay. Well,